Pre-season is over and it is time for the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in IRL. The pre-season has just left us, and upon us a new season IRL, new drivers, and hopefully a new champion. Welcome to IRL Tier 2. I'm your commentator, GoldenSniper, and it's going to be a bloody cracker here. The first round we've got today, Spa-Francorchamps, a lovely circuit that I do say it looks like a deformed gun, but we move. That's just my opinion. So let's see what these drivers have for us today. The Red Bulls are one of the only teams that actually did not change their driver lineup from last season. Quoto, the reigning champion, and his teammate Leandro both swept the floor last season, winning the Constructors, and Quoto winning the Drivers' Championship. Racing Bulls, sorry. One of the other teams who didn't change their driver lineup, Sub-Zero and Blitz for VCARB. You've got Randro making his debut for Aston Martin. You see him coming out the pits now. The Judge staying for Tier 2, I believe. And Sabino making his well-appointed return in IRL. Jagnu in the bloody McLaren, looking lovely as ever. And we got the two Alpines, Andrew, my former teammate, and Chonquito making his debut for the team in blue and pink from Enstone. It's going to be a lovely race, 10 drivers, so everyone will score points today, unless they DNF and they do something a little bit stupid in it. And look at the pits, only 2 to 3 drivers really out on track, including this man, my former teammate, the man who is more lanky than Chet Holmgren. I don't know if you hear that reference, but he's a very lanky basketballer. This man is even more lanky than him, as you actually see Andrew coming around the middle part of Sector 2. Just shut up, Dan. Just coming around, just that beautiful Alpine car. I still think it looks like absolute shit. Sabino somehow has a 5-second penalty already for contact with Sub-Zero up to Row Rouge. Okay, we're going to roll with that. Jesus Lord himself. We're on board with Andrew again. I am very tired. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I woke up 20 minutes ago and I am absolutely fiending for some coffee. Anyway, Andrew's going to dick himself over the line, and let's see what he can slap on the board. I'm going to turn my telemetry off, because why the fuck not? You can see him coming out the first corner, absolutely bloody flying. Dan, not happy in the chat with one of his drivers having a massive skill issue off the start. You can see Andrew coming up. Eau Rouge, absolutely bloody lovely. You just love to see all the drivers getting a good lap time here. Let's see what Andrew can set for the benchmark today. He's coming around Eau Rouge, flying around this windy part of the second sector. And he's just absolutely going to throw his car around every single bloody corner. Now, this part's a little bit tricky. You want to hug that inside line, not ride the curb a little bit too much. And he does it beautifully. Lovely use of traction there. Almost tips his tyres into the gravel, but it is all good. He's coming around to the long, winding left-hander. Just really tends to read out your tyres, but he uses every part of the track. Lovely. Comes around, and a lovely little bit of a shame there, but it is all good. Coming up now, flying around the end of Sector 2. You want to look from around 142, 143. If you are quick enough, I am most certainly not. That is why I don't know is why I am shit at this video game. Anyway, coming out of Longchamp now, Andrew's going to get all the speed he can get, flying around up to the bus stop chicane, into the braking zone. Where can he slap his car? Oh, curbing is needed there, but it's absolutely lovely to see this man drive. Shut up. A 1:44.1, great time to set off the rip. Dan, shut the fuck up. As you can see, the Red Bulls are going to fly on their outlaps here. And behind them, it is Randro on his debut. Let's see what he can set on the board. Lovely usage of the curbing of the inside of the bus stop chicane. Across the line with a 43.2. He's already beaten Andrew's time by nearly a second. That is absolutely fucking crazy. Mind them, you've got Sub-Zero with Sabino just behind him. He wants to get as quick and as fast away from that Williams as he can, even though it was only his outlap that they crashed on. He still wants to get away from him because that man, he's not having the best of starts here. Sub-Zero's going to fly into the straight, and he gets a 1:45.7, and Savino gets a 1:44.9. Decent time for both drivers. And next across the line is Jagnu in the McLaren. As a little bit of a slow exit coming out of the bus stop chicane, but gets a 1:45.0, not a bad time for the McLaren. Next across the line, who's just coming out the Blanche right now, is Andrew yet again, who's just shelling on an outlap. We've got both Red Bulls behind them as caution. In Sector 1, I believe that is Sabino going, I'm not sure if he's going slow, just has low fuel. Probably has low fuel. If we can quickly check the telemetry. No, he's just on a golden lap, and I'm just incredibly retarded. Anyway, next question. Holy fuck. Quota comes across the line with a 43.5. Good time for him. Leandro is going to abort his lap and dive into the pit lane. Fun times all around. Leandro is going to come across on a cool down. You got a couple other drivers in cool down laps. And if I can switch my bloody thing, it will show that, well, yeah, fun. I can't do my job. Jesus Christ, can you tell I've just woken up? Everyone is on cooldown laps. Drivers who have set times, Chunkato, Blitz, and the Judge are on their outlaps. Leandro is not set a time yet. He was around the medium tyres, just I guess trying to scrub a set or something else. There's a bit of carnage into Sector 2 up to Blanchimont, and that is just one of the red racing balls getting out of the way for this man on screen, Chunkato, on his debut for Alpine, replacing May. Yeah, and enough said about that. Anyway, fun times all around. Chicato's just taking it gracefully around the bus stop. Chicano, he's going to start his flying lap in about now. We're going to be on board with him the entire way through. Let's see what he can do. First corner is always a tricky to hear the tyre screech a little bit as he approaches, but it is all good. Takes it absolutely lovely. Wouldn't be a little bit more on the inside with that curving, but he's made it up for how fast he's going to be up to Eau Rouge and Radion. Curbing definitely needed, but it's lovely to see him actually not fuck someone in the back, Sabino. Anyway, coming around is the fastest first sector for Chunkato, yellow flagged in the back. That is, I believe, Andrew letting past one of the Red Bulls. As they're coming up to the middle part of sector 2, you're a little bit wide coming into the exit, but it is all good. Kenny not to be tied into the gravel. Lovely there. Coming around the big fuck off whining left-hander. The double left is painful on those tires. Uses it to his shut the fuck up, Dan. That is a bit of banter from the Williams CP, aka a knobhead. Anyway, gotta love to see the banter everywhere as I am completely losing control of my job. Chunkato is just coming around Blanchimont now. It is a very rapid double left here as we're coming up to the bus stop chicane. A little bit needing of the curbing, but it's absolutely all good. Brakes around the 100 meter board. Another yellow flag. I believe it's one of the Williams. As he's going to fly into the straight, and he comes up with a 1:43.6. Good time for him. In the background, you see Leandro starting his outlap, and I believe that is Blitz coming across the line. A 1:43.8 for him. But I believe it's either an outlap or invalidation. Fun. Anyway, the judge invalidated his lap. Love that fucking hell. Randro is on a cooldown. People are decking about. Who are we gonna come on board with? Let us have a cheeky look. Fuck it. We'll be on board with this man, Leandro. Quoto's teammate, shut the fuck up, Dan. Here we go, flying around is Leandro. Obviously, Tier 2 champions retained their lineup. Davis is very happy with what he saw. No need for improvements anywhere. Flying around the double left hand. Let's see if this Red Bull domination can indeed pick up some steam. Quoto is currently provisional P2, but Randro is still top of the timing sheets with that 143.2. Can Leandro have anything to say about it? He's coming across the end of Sector 2. He sets the fastest second sector, and he's coming out to Blanchimont with a really rapid fucking thing. No ease of the throttle anywhere, but it's coming up to the bus stop chicane now. Can he get his exit point absolutely spanking fresh? Looking pretty good from what I can see. A little bit of curve, a little bit wide as well, but it is all good as he's coming across the line, slaps it with a 43.7. Everyone is really close today. Holy fuck. Very close on the time sheets. We're on board with Andrew, who rides it, the curbing, other way too aggressive, almost goes wide. Lucky he didn't validate. A 43.8 is not a bad time for the Alpine. Coming next across the line, I believe that was Juncato. Didn't really see any improvement from him. We're going to go on board with Sabino. He's on an outlap. Thrandro sits a 42.8. Holy balls. Someone get this man a ticket to Tier 1 already. Because, has he been taking supplements from Juncato? Holy fuck. That is a rapid time from the Aston Martin. That's me tough to beat. Oh my god. We fucking love it. As I unfuck up my back, no time yet from Blitz and the Judge. But the Judge is on an absolute outlet. He's got some traffic in front and behind him, though. It's both Alpines behind him, and you do have a Red Bull in front. So, for the sake of everything that is holy, I hope they get the fuck out of the way. Anyway, Sub-Zero is going to come across the line now on a flyer. He slaps it with a 44.9, 7 tenths of an improvement there. And next to us, I believe, is his Quoto, who is going to fly, gets a 43.2 an improvement, but not enough for to catch Randro. We're on board with Leandro, who's going to fly into the pits. Good for him. You got Andrew and Juncato together. Let's see if they're both going to go into the pits. Almost a bit wonky there. We've got the Judge, who's going to start his outlap. Let's see what he can slap on the board in a bit of a rough end to Tier 2 last season, especially with that Monza race in a couple weeks ago, about a month ago actually. He had a massive crash with a Blitz, and it's not looking wasn't looking the best for him. Let's hope he can turn that form right around. This is coming out to a route of the caution in Sector 1. Sabino, off the rip, has fucked it into a wall somewhere, somehow. Very odd place to lose it, but we absolutely move. Anyway, let's see what the Judge can do. He's coming around the middle parting of Sector 2. Let's see what he's going to absolutely just carve out of Williams like Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. He's going to fly. Dan is not happy at all. He's not happy at all about anything today. There's going to be some choice words in the Williams garage, I can definitely say. Anyway, the Judge is currently just throwing his car around every part. And as he's coming up now, you know, fly around this third sector. There's a caution just in front of him. He's one of the Red Bulls going slow. I hope he gets out of the way for everyone's sanity. He's going to fly around, going all the way wide. Ooh, almost on the racing line there. But it is all good so far. The Judge slipping out, and that's a loss of the rear. a loss of traction, and that's going to fuck up his time a little bit of 45.7. That is not the way the judge wanted to end his lap on the bus stop chicane of all bloody places. You can see Blitz flying around. He's got the fastest first sector. And can he pick up steam here? He's got no time so far. 2 minutes 40 left in the session. Randro still with that 42.8 set a couple minutes ago. I do like the there in your profile, mate. Thumbs up. Anyway, Blitz is flying around, almost invalidates in the double left-hander, but it's all good. Flying around this small windy bit that is definitely needing of a couple downshifts. As he's coming around the nice little flat out part here, a little bit of a feather the brakes a little bit here as he's going to fly around now up to Blanchard. Raw pace, just full throttle, send it, beans everything. Caution sector 1, what the bloody hell, Sabino? I'm kidding. Sabino's in the pits. Jeez. Alright. What can people cook? Quickly next across the line, it's Leandro on an outlap. Blitz, what can he slap on the board, put his name somewhere, P3 provisional 43.6, a simply lovely time for tier 2. Next to fly around, I believe is, if I can actually switch, it is the judge who is on a cooldown lap. He'll have enough time to slap another one in there, and for the sake of it, I hope he actually gets the bus stop chicane fucking nailed down. Unless he is low on fuel. Okay, that is, and he slipped it again in the bus stop chicane. That is really his kryptonite today. You can see him taking the grass, and he's going to come into the pits, I believe, with 1 minute left. That's his qualifying done and dusted. Starting from the very back of the grid, the judge starts P10, not the way Williams wanted him to go. Jagner's going to start his flying lap. He thunderfucks it around the bus stop chicane. Dan is not happy. Something has to be said in the Williams garage after qualifying. Quoto is going to start his flying lap. Takes it a little bit wider in the bus stop chicane, but it's all good. It is just an outlap. Behind him, we've got both Alpines on an outlap. Is anyone actually on a flyer? We will quickly look. Quoto sets a 1:43.2 improvement here, but he's going to actually start his final flying lap. Leandro crosses the line now with a 43.4. It's a P2, P3 visual for both Red Bulls. Qualifying is over. Randro, Blitz, and Sabino unable to set brand spanking new times, but Randro has actually done a Sebastian Vettel and come into the pits. Leandro retires from the session on track, I believe. He's definitely on track. I don't know why he did that. But he obviously couldn't find anything because he didn't have any rest, so that was where he's called down lap, and he just decided, oh, fuck it. Anyway, a couple more drivers dig themselves into the pits, and there's just cars flying fucking everywhere. We're going to be on board with the McLaren of Jagner. He's the next driver to cross the line, as there's 2 minutes left for people to complete their damn laps. I need definitely something to wake me up after this. Anyway, Jagner to come to the bus stop chicane. Do not do a Sabino, for crying out loud. Takes that really well there. Bit slow on the exit, but it's all good. What can he slap on the board? A 44.0, a full second improvement. That is great for McLaren, so it only puts him down into P7. Next to cross the line is Quoto, flying around. He's about 500th of a second up on his time. What can he slap on the board? A 43.1 is not enough. Can anyone beat that time? Andrew puts himself up into P3. What can Chiquito slap on board? Can he at least beat his teammate? No, goes P4 behind him. Sub-Zero, the last man on track. Can he get anything? A 44.5 is not good enough, and he will start P9. And that means Randro on his debut will start from pole position for Aston Martin. Quoto will start P12 to Andrew and Chinkito will go P3, P4 for Alpine, that brand new lighter. He's working a treat, and there is an Alpine sandwich between both Red Bulls. Leandro finishing P5 Blitz, P6 Jagnu in the McLaren, P7 Savino, P8, but he'll drop to the back of the grid after early contact with Blitz or Sub-Zero, one of the Racing Bulls as Sub-Zero finishes P9 to Judge P10. Let's see what these drivers have to work with. Swappage of the order around. Give me 1 second. Okay, we are here. I've forgotten my water bottle was right next to me. That is really awkward. Okay, we are back for Tier 2 Spa. It is now raining. Love that. Hello, Mark. How are you, sunshine? That is bloody good to hear, mate. Bloody good to damn hear. Dan is very concerned about Sabino at the bus stop. He's going to spin even more so waiting for these drivers to start the race. Is anyone going to get a dumb cunt and ready up early? Bloody good. Nice succulent Chinese dinner. Fucking love that. Absolutely love the Chinese. Share Senzaka. Let's see what these drivers can do. I'm going to unfuck my back up for the second time, and it's not the last time I'm going to say that during this bloody session. We have been given the green light for the drivers to ready up. And as I stop doom scrolling off my Instagram feed, I actually have to do my damn job. And let's see if these drivers can navigate a bloody wet Spa Francorchamps circuit. Dan is an absolute cunt. As the 5 red lights, it is underway. The formation lap is underway. Everyone is going to take it nice and slowly. I don't know. The judge has absolutely slapped it off the start. You may need to give all those positions back, mate. A new ruling for IRL today is any overtake in the formation lap is, I believe, 1 penalty point if you don't give all the positions back. So you will need to give every single position back apart from your teammate, but he's seemingly just cruising away. Yeah, we can see the strategy. I don't know why 1 stop in, 2 stop, and just enters all around. As you can see, the rain falling. The judge is overtaking everyone. Okay, he's decided to just overtake the shit out of every single car in front of him already. Dan is not happy with what he's seeing, P9, P10. It's not the way he wanted his Tier 2 season to start, and this is definitely one of the weirdest sides we've seen in IRL. The man who's starting P9 has just thunder throwed his car absolutely everywhere. You can see Sub-Zero is actually up the back of the grid. Sabino's actually past him. Jagnu, everyone is keeping their position nice and tight. You can see Randro and Quoto flying around just up to the start of Sector 3, but the judge, who's starting P9, has overtook absolutely everyone in front, and he's actually going to come to the grid first. That's not what anyone had on their bingo card today. But it's definitely not allowed at all. As he's gonna he's actually been disqualified off the formation lap. So he's gonna start right up the back of his grid box. Bloody hell, what has today become? I don't know why Quoto, who's starting P2, is overtaken Randro, but there may be something in play with that. We don't know what's actually happened between both of them. Randro is going to come into his grid spot now. Everyone's going to look nice and tidy everywhere. So, as we're watching Sub-Zero find his grid spot. And want to quickly get everyone in play as the 5 red lights are going to come out. They're not. It's a bloody visual glitch. We love that. 5 red lights. Oh, sorry. It's coming. 5 red lights. We're starting Tier 2 today. It's lights out and away we go. Randra gets a great start off the rip, as does Quota. They're coming down to turn on almost contact between Leandro and one of the Alpines. Up the back, Gianquito moves up into P3, gets past Leandro. Sabino getting past his teammate, almost swapping positions there, and Sabino is going to keep P9. Other drivers flying around are on board with Kudo up to O'Rouge and Radion. Can he make anything stick? Has to try and force his way through, but Randro keeps his bloody car in a great position, saying, no, you can't make that overtake, so you shall not pass. And that is actually put Quota in a very bad position. He's losing time already to Randro. Just from that little nick, slowing his car down just a little bit a little bit more. As you see drivers flying around, no one really going for moves. So we can quickly look at the position changes. Andrew's already lost 2 positions off the rip. Jagnu, Leandro and Chinkata, the benefits of that, as Blitz also loses position from getting overtaken by the McLaren. First up, he's always down for some carnage as Leandro gets past Chinkito for P3. That is more like the Red Bulls having just unlimited pace, but can they get past this man who just seems to be flying away already? Randro's already second up on Quoto. I don't know what the hell is into this man. He's got a Chinkito everywhere. He's got a Chinkito region everywhere on him. The judge will get past Sub-Zero for P8, and Chinkito has dropped down the order, who is overtaken by his teammate Andrew. You can just see them neck and neck. You got Jagnu side by side with Shinkato has to yield through the bus stop chicane. DRS is ready and ready to go because it's not that wet, as Randra will start with the fastest lap, who starts with a 58.8. It is wet, and the rate is still slowly falling down. I completely forgot to turn on the lap data. We love that. Everyone is on the intermediate tyres. I bloody hope if someone isn't, that's a very bad thing. Everyone on the inter's good to bloody see. Rhythm changes, same as Leandro, getting up 2 positions, and both Alpines losing 1. Flying around now, Randro is just in his own world right now. He's just absolutely flying, losing a little bit of time from Quoto, but still within a decent range. No one really attempting a move. Everyone just slowly got gaps. We can see with Blitz now on the back of Jagnu, coming up the middle part of Sector 2, losing a little bit of time from the McLaren there, but seems all good. Everyone keeping their cars on track. For the sake of it, I hope Sabino doesn't do what he did in qualifying, so he ironed him out early on. Now, will anyone be ballsy enough to do a move off the rip, or we have to wait for a Rouge and Ranion? Let's see if anyone can stick their nose in somewhere just for an overtake, something to get me frothing out of the mouth for some action. As we're going to come across the line now for the start of lap 3. Quota is not in DRS range of Randro, as behind him Leandro is in DRS range of his teammate. So he's going to catch up nice and close. Randro 2 seconds already in front of Quoto, and Leandro's going to have something to say for it. Coming up to a Rouge and Radion, can he make it sick on his teammate? Has a bit of a snap coming out. That dirty air is definitely something that is going to be in effect for actually everyone trying to overtake here. The drag is a lot less though. DRS is more powerful. He comes around the outside, and that's a brilliant move for Leandro. Not sure it was a tiny bit of contact between both of the Red Bulls, but it seems all good. Shinkato gets past Andrew for P4. He's going to fight for everything. Shinkato is very rapid, you saw in last season. The caution in Sector 2. Sabino has it spun out, I believe, turn 6. I believe we're in turn 6, turn 7. They're not going to be happy with that at all. 3 spins in 2 spins in a qualifying session, and 1 already in the race itself. Sabino's 8 seconds behind the next car, which is Sub-Zero, who's 2 seconds behind the judge, who's catching slowly to Blitz. So we're not to tell who the first driver is from Williams and who Dan is definitely. Oh, as I say that, the judge almost has a bit of a slip coming out of the middle part, the ending of Sector 2, as they're all up to Blanchimont now. Losing a lot of time to Blitz, but he seemingly gained it all back already. Fleeting through, no one really in DRS range. Well, from the top 3 at least, apart from Quoto on his teammate. He's going to fly around and say goodbye to Junkato. And Andrew and Junkato just kind of in their own world right now. P4, P5 behind him. Behind Andrew, a train of Chagnu, Blitz, and the Judge, with Sub-Zero and Sabino nowhere to be seen for now. We're on board. No one really in DRS range yet, because that's because they're not up to Rouge and Radion. We're going to be on board with the McLaren of Jagnu. You can see Blitz actually going by very easily down the back straight. Jagnu didn't have DRS at all, and that puts Blitz in a great position to overtake with that 15 extra kilometers an hour from opening your rear wing. Thank you, Martin Brundle. It's a simple move done for the V-Carb, who knocks himself up a position. Jagnu, a bit of a slip out of that last corner as he looks to regain what he lost. Blitz is now slowly on the back of Andrew, who's dropped down a couple positions from his qualifying session. So let's see if he can cook anything up today. Blitz is already on the back of him, and this is looking a little bit worrying for Andrew here, as he's just trying to get a gap or something, just try to get towards his teammate. 1.7 seconds. Blitz is 5 seconds better than his previous best lap, as the judge will get past Jagnu for P7. We're still on board with Blitz. He's got Andrew in front of him, who's sitting a little slow out of that last corner, up into Blanchemont, up to the bus stop chicane, almost contacted. Blitz losing the rear a little bit, or was there contact with the judge? I don't know. It just seemed like losing the rear, losing a little bit of the gears as well, having a bit of a moment there. So that's made him lose a lot of time coming up to the second long straight. In here, the tyre screeching out, and Blitz has lost so much time to Andrew. It is not funny. We're on board with Chinkita, who's going to have DRS in tow. Quoto and Leandro in front. He's going to catch up to the back of him, but it's not going to be enough for any move, as Chinkita will have to settle for P4. So far, no one making moves on this lap. Randro is just carving out a gap. It is absolutely bloody lovely to see someone who isn't a Red Bull winning a damn race this season. Anyway, as you recall back, Quota won a couple races, so did Leandro last season. If I'm wrong, please tell me. I don't do tier 2 comms, I'm retarded. Anyway, lap 5, couple of drivers in a lovely train. Andrew, Blitz, Judge and Jagnu still those four. Sabino slowly catching up to Sub-Zero, is losing time on the only McLaren in the race. Brick definitely forgot to set his alarm clock for today, unless he said something else. I did see he was declined earlier today, but all is good. Jagner will still score points, as it is down to P12. There is no P12 today, so everyone can score points. Holy fucking lovely. And funny, what's it called? Sunny days for everyone, even though it's bloody raining. Let's see if anyone has the balls to overtake now. There's still a small train from Andrew to Jagnu. Jagnu's actually losing time to the judge. And just as I said that, he's out of the small train himself, getting on board with the V-Cup of Blitz. He's got Andrew in front for company. He's got a lot more straight line speed than that Alpine, who just is a sitting duck right now. And Blitz will move up into P5, already 5 and a bit tenths better than his previous time. Andrew is just losing positions down the order. It is not the way he wanted to start Tier 2 this season. Obviously filling in the last couple races for U60 whenever he couldn't make it. You saw Andrew fill out, I believe, Vegas. You saw Andrew fill out Vegas last season, and he got a great taste of the lovely timing for Tier 2. Unless I'm retarded, and that was U60, who actually was supposed to retire, but he jumped ship after that, had a change of heart, we should say, and is now firmly with Ferrari, which is I always love to see an Italian man in a Ferrari. You can see Andrew and the judge going side by side there. The judge almost going off track and forcing Andrew. There's contact between both drivers, and that puts both of them down the order. Jagner will screen past them, and that is not looking well as Andrew sticks it into the pit lane. Blitz will also come into the pits. What on earth was that? The judge just trying to force Andrew wide, and in the while, you can see the damage on that Williams car. What on earth was the judge thinking there? Forcing Andrew wide and just getting it all wrong. You can see Blitz coming out right now. Sabino just behind him. Andrew slapping on a brand spanking. He's slapping on the medium compound, okay? So, from what I can see, the rain slowly maybe falling down a little bit slower. I muddle up my words too much here. You can actually see Andrew gaining a slight bit of time here, but he's still really wet. You have to wonder, was that the choice by Andrew to go on these slick tyres, or was it maybe like a couple, like I believe last season or the season before, a pit stop issue for Andrew? He did have a crash out some time ago, and for the sake of a hope, it wasn't his calling to go on the or just a fuck up in general, just something. Anyway, you see Andrew already catching up to Sabine, so maybe the mediums are a little bit, they're obviously going to be quicker than the enters, but is it dry enough to get something done? Surely Andrew thinks it is, as Sabina is just a sitting duck probably coming on out of Blanchimont. Truncator will get past Quoto, but that is because both Red Bulls are pitting, maybe reacting to Andrew on the softs, on the slick tyres. Andrew is going to come into the pits now for new intermediates, as will Quoto. So Sub-Zero is going to move up position. The Judge is going to come into the pits now. What is he going to put on his Williams car? Let's see. When he fired, Andrew does get past Sabino, who's also going to fly into the pits. The Judge slapping on a brand new set of intermediates. Quoto coming out of the pits now, who gets overtaken just as he comes down by Blitz. The Judge coming out. Sabino coming in. Everyone slapping on intermediate tyres. As it's a very, very slow stop there for Sabino, and the tyres were not ready as he comes out of the pits. Fresh, spanking new inters for him. Quoto gets past Blitz on the fresher compounded tyres, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Nope. Same-ish. Blitz tries something down the outside, but Quoto just shuts the door early. Andrew on the medium compound. You can see the time he's gained from pitting already coming into effect. He's slowly around that 2.3 second gap. You can just hear the car just throwing everything. You can hear the tyres screeching because it is still a wet track out there. The rain is still falling, and for the love of God, I hope Andrew has just a good race. Randro, our race leader, coming into pits on lap 8, and Chinkito as well. Will Jagnu follow suit? He's actually staying out on this lap. He is one of the drivers who haven't pitted yet. As we quickly look who has, Jagnu and Sub-Zero, the only drivers who haven't pitted. Sub-Zero staying out as well. Now, what tyres will these drivers slap on? I believe a new set. Is that also the medium compound for the second Alpine of Chinkito? He's going to come into. He's going to get this. It is a new. It is a set of slicks for Chinkito there. And we quickly look who else pitted. Randro on the brand new inters for him. Jagnu throwing out with some 8-lap old intermediates. Sub-Zero also with 8-lap old intermediates. Those two haven't pit yet. Truncato is to both Alpines. You can just see Truncato slipping out a little bit, taking the risk of going on slick tyres so early in a wet race. You can see the grip loss from Trincato on brand new slicks as opposed to the more warmed up intermediates from Quoto, who's just behind him. Want to be on board with him in the middle part of Sector 2. He's flying around, just trying to get anything on that Alpine in front of him. And let's see if this Red Bull has some Max Verstappen magic. Here's a caution, Sector 2. Oh, split! Blitz in the background, spinning and whacking himself into the wall. That is really odd. Only end plate damage from, actually no damage. Really lucky there from Blitz as we're coming up to the back straight now. Leandro and Quota right next to each other. Jagnu's going to start dive into pits off the inters. Sub-Zero is going to actually thug it out. He's pitted. My bad. Jagnu is coming out on hard tyres. Okay, he's coming out on the hards. That is very bold from the McLaren man. Obviously confident enough that slicks are the right option, unless a bit of a flick misdirection on his MFD. Anyway, Andrew slowly still losing time to the Red Bull of Quoto, who's in this massive battle with Sub-Zero, who gets the move done. You can see the V-car behind him having to yield that position after the Red Bull came swooping around the inside of him. That is a lovely move from Quoto. He's just got his eyes set now on Trincato, who's 10 seconds behind Leandro. You can really see the pace difference between everyone here. But saying that, Trincato is gaining a loss of time on Leandro. Never mind, he's just lost it all again. Jesus Lord. Someone save my job. Andrew will get past Sub-Zero as Sub-Zero is going to fly into the gravel trap. I believe that looks like a puncture actually for the V-carb. The car is slowly riding a little bit forward, perched off the ground. There is a rear right puncture for Sub-Zero. I have no idea, maybe clipping a wall. You can see him spinning and nicking his front wing into the wall. That is not the way the V-car is saying wanted anything to happen to him. He's actually beached his car from reversing, and he's forced there to reset the track. That looks all fine and dandy, at least from my perspective, as Sub-Zero is just dropping down the order. You can hear the tires screeching. The rubber eventually is going to rip off those intermediate tires. You can hear him trundling back in to get back to the action. Trincato gets past Quoto as I turn towards him. A decent move done for the Alpine coming into Rouge-Ranion. But Quoto is a much better racer coming out. A bit of a tap on the rear there for Quoto. But he saved himself a world of pain. As we're going to cut back quickly, Sub-Zero spun into the pit box. It's just not his day today. As he's finally going to come into the pits slowly and methodically, just get into the pits, get off those inters, and possibly slap on a brand new set. It's unfortunate to see such a very fast driver dealt with that much of pain. Someone to call Ferrari. They need their depression back. Anyway, as we start lap 12 now, Randro is still leading the way. You've got Leandro behind him, maxing a tongue twister say all throughout the season. Trincato behind him, P3, Quoto P4, and Andrew rounding out your top 5. No drivers really in DRS range of each other, apart from Quoto, who's got that rear wing open but can't make a move on the Alpine of Junqueira, who's still, he's actually nursed those the medium tyres quite well. It was a big gamble coming out, but it seems Junqueira's done it well. But Quoto's have something to say about it coming up the back straight, and that is a simple overtake there for the Red Bull. You see Andrew in the background flying in P5 in the minute, and Junqueira just having to yield on the back straight there as Quoto moves up into the podium positions. This is more like the Red Bull we saw last season. Their dominance is surely going to be ever more prominent, I would say. But Randro is definitely going to have something to say about it, as Quoto's teammate Leandro is on the back of him in DRS range. For now, they're coming up to the middle part of Sector 2, as let's see if they can at least stay in DRS of the Aston Martin in front. This would be a very big talking point come early parts of the season. You see who has pace and who maybe needs to improve a little bit, bar a mishap or two. Currently just over 0.5 of a second between Leandro and Randro. Words needed everywhere. I need some way to say words without getting muddled up as Leandro gets up there, but he is still in DRS. He's still going to gain a small chunk of time. Now the gap 0.7 of a second. The rain is still falling, and let's just see if it's going to stop anytime soon. Leandro still in DRS range of the car in front. DRS is open now. Let's see if he can push anything. You can see the straight line speed already a factor. Not enough though to get anywhere near the rear of Randro, and he's going to keep P1 saying that. Leandro's actually getting a little bit of time there, coming out of Original Radio into that little right left-hander. And he's just staying around 4.5 behind Jagnu with DRS. Can't get anything done on Andrew, and keeps his P6 for now, I should say, on the hard compounds. Very odd choice of tyres for the McLaren, but for now he is P6 with Blitz 2.7 seconds behind him, but Blitz is gaining a lot of time. As I say that, he's lost all the tenths he's gained already. The time's fluctuating everywhere. What isn't fluctuating is Jagnu on that exit. A very good exit from the double left-hander. And he's now right up the rear of Andrew, fighting for P5 now. You can just see the straight line speed Jagnu has to yield a little bit due to Andrew slowly closing the door. Andrew is a little bit wide and needs to be a side-by-side battle coming up to the bus stop chicane. Andrew has to yield, and that means Jagnu will move up into P5, but I'm sure Andrew will definitely have something to say about it. Here the tyres screeching there a little bit as they come across the pit straight. There's a caution in Sector 3. Sabino having a moment into the start of it, Sector 3 down the bottom. Dan is not going to be happy from what he saw from at least one of his drivers today. Very unfortunate for him. As I finish my sip of water, Leandro is given a 3-second time penalty, 4 track limits, and that will surely put him out of a contention for the win at the very least. His Ranger seems to have a lot more pace. You can see him gaining tenths everywhere across this track. Coming up to the bus stop chicane now, 2.5 seconds between the top two, and just seems to really be in his own world right now, Randro. The pace is absolutely flying with Randro. And let's see, is anyone even close enough for DRS? We've got one small little battle here between Blitz, who's caught up a lot, and Andrew, who's just not had the best of races today. But let's see, down the DRS straight, as Blitz has a little bit of a slip up there. It'll be close enough to start shit showingness. As we're on board with the V-Carb, let's see if anything can be done. Andrew losing 3 positions starting from P3. And he might lose another one. He has Blitz. There's a lot of straight line speed up to the back of that Alpine. He's going to try and move down the inside. No, he's not. As Andrew slips out a little bit off his exit. And that will make Blitz knock his rear wing, rear diffuser just a tad. But, as for now, you can really see who's got more grip, who's got more speed. And the gamble, at least for Andrew, on the slick tyres is not working as well as he expected. The rain's still falling. You can see the amount of loss, the grip loss he's got slowly going around these corners as opposed to the intermediates of Blitz. We're still on board, well, we're currently on board, I should say, with Randro, who that gap is going ever bigger to Leandro, who's going to pit off the intermediate tyres, slap on another set of inters, Quoto diving in to P2, Jagno with a 3-second time penalty, 4 track limits there. Not the best of times for him yet, but he's still got Trincato in front of him, less than a second between both. And for now, he'll keep his P5. Andrew, Blitz, and the Judge all pitting off tyres. Andrew slapping on another set of slick tyres, going for another set of mediums and the race. So is Blitz. So they're going off each other there. As the Judge coming into the pits, he will also slap on the tyres of the yellow variety. Blitz, a 10-second time penalty for crossing the track as the rain is slowly whittling down. You can see the track slightly drying up, but it's a time for the slicks to come into play here. As they're looking across, everyone's still on into Sabino coming into the pits now. A fresh set of soft tyres. Wow. A set of softs for Sabino as he's going to come out of the pits. Keeps it all fine within the white line there. Yeah, just really weird strategies today. Everyone was expecting, double inters, maybe a second slap on the inters if the other tyre wear is a lot higher than expected. But no one really saw an inters to double slick pit stop from Andrew. Let's hope he can come into play with him. He's only 21 seconds behind the pack. But on brand spanking new inters as the rain is slowing down a lot. Quoto and Randro coming into the pits. What will they slap on their car? Leandro's coming out of the pits on brand new intermediate tyres. Quoto slapping on another set of intermediates. Jagno and Troncato will move up into P3 and 4. Hello, Toasty. Hello, mate. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am bloody...
Hopefully I'm not too late.
Do you have a PlayStation?
No.
That is a little bit unfortunate because I'm streaming on my PlayStation and they can't hear you because it only picks up PlayStation audio. Yeah, fun. Do you have OBS on your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll start next week. We'll do us two, and then we can stream off your laptop because that picks it up. It picks up when I'm on my PlayStation. Simply lovely. Well, for now I can give you an invite, and you can you can be my the guy in the background waffling my head off. Let me just give you one right now, mate. You can be like if I miss anything up the back. Well, I mean, there's only like 5, 6 up there. I'll invite you anyway. You can just let me know if anything happens. But yeah, good to fucking see you, mate. How's your dinner?
That was wonderful.
Lovely. Speaking of incidents, sorry if I cut you off there. It's not been the best of races for Williams today. P8, P9. Sabino pitted on soft tyres. I mean, the rain's slowly falling down. The track is drying up. You can see Sub-Zero at the back being lapped, I believe. Even 2 cars in front of Leandro and Randro. Both lapping. Oh, no, not them. Okay. It is Jagnu and Chinkito. So actually, Sub-Zero's in lap by 4 cars. Chinkito will get past Jagnu here. They're fighting. Jagnu slipping out a little bit, coming out of the bus stop. And that is I don't really know what happened. They just seemed a tiniest bit of contact, maybe, from both cars that were on board. Yet again, Leandro, can he stick something here up to Radion and Eau Rouge down the straight? Just the straight line. He's not going to be his best friend today, as Leandro is still trying to fight Randro for P1. They're close enough for this lovely battle, but Leandro does have that 3-second time penalty to boot, so basically he needs a massive stuff up from the Aston Martin in front. And just anything to really go his way here for now, but he will keep P2 as Chinkito is 16 seconds behind the pack and currently on board with the McLaren of Jagnu trying to fight for the third and final podium position. You can see the grip loss from both drivers on this still wet track, but if you quickly look at the tyres for now, Leandro has left the session. There's a caution in sector 2. I believe.
Leandro's on AI now, so that's probably what it was from.
Yikes! A bit of a slip up maybe from Leandro somewhere in sector 2, and he will leave the section. Maybe a disconnect from the F1 servers, or just maybe a small rage quit as the time has dropped off so much now. Mate, there was definitely a slip up, without a doubt. That is unfortunate for the man in second place, but there is only 4 or 5 laps to go, and I'm pretty sure he will keep his P2 as he's not he's still within the threshold of completing his laps. I believe it's around 90% in the rule book. Toasty, can you just double check that for me, mate? How okay, yep, all good. So he's all good, yep.
He is getting caught pretty quick.
Chinkito is definitely catching up a little bit, I should say, due to Leandro's we should say disadvantage as disconnecting. He's definitely being a lot slower on track. Yeah, Quota will get past Jagnu for P5 there. Jagnu.
Was 1.5 seconds up on his best time for that sector 2, so getting a lot slower, especially on these.
Definitely something to talk about there. Chinkito has got a lovely little train behind him as he's looking to keep just a podium position, as Leandro will join back. Maybe a slight disconnect from the Red Bull. Something will definitely down at Milton Keynes needs to be fixed. I don't know how. Leandro was a decent. But anyway, at the back, we're on board with his teammate, the reigning Tier 2 World Champion, retaining his seat for another season, almost running into the back of Chinkito. Quoto is on the rear of that Alpine, who has a lot less grip due to being on...
You're saying
Am I saying it wrong?
yeah.
He's Chung... my bad. My bad. Anyway, Quoto trying to go on the outside of the second Alpine, keeps it nice and tight. There's a caution in sector 3. That is Blitz having a moment. Blitz having a not the.
He's gonna lose 7th place.
He might. Whoa, yoy. There's a big battle on the back straight. You see Jagno in the back straight getting left for dust from Quoto and Chinkito. Blitz gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. I believe that knocks him up into for 6 seconds. As I'm a dumbass, I can't work my buttons. 13 seconds, sorry. I did get 10 from crossing the pit entry line, pit exit line, I should say. DRS now down the back, down the Rouge Radion. Quoto moves up into P3 after a great move from him on Chinkito, who's battled brilliantly this entire race, but just loses out. Sabino gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. As you look at the position changes, Leandro moving up 3 positions, Jagner moving up 2, the judge and Sabino moving up 1 sub-0. Up the back, unfortunate with that puncture in the middle section of the race. Leandro not having the best of races by his standards, dropping down to P6 as Blitz and Quoto do lose a position each. Speaking of Jinkito, is definitely still enters weather as Quoto is gaining just so much time on Jinkito. He's just gapping him for so much. Oh, I can't say the words, my god. Basically, the tyre difference is a lot more prominent than you think. Jagnu and Chinkito in front, almost having contact. A lot better grip. Jagnu and Chinkito into the bus stop chicane. Will there be a sneaky move done from the McLaren? Yes, there will. Lovely move for P2. Chinkito slips up off the back. You can see, I believe, Sub-Zero also having a bit of slip up. He's been lap low. Oh, what a move already. It's only the first races. We've seen some brilliant moves. First on Jagnu from Quoto early in the race. Now Jagnu into the bus stop on the Alpina Chinkito. I need to be sponsored by a water company. The amount of times I'm going to drink water this season is a lot better than last season. You hear me just sipping my water, just enjoying the race. Toasty making some bread of some sort. Sub-Zero having to yield yet again. just for Chinkito to get past there. Leandro, another 3-second time penalty for track limits. 6 seconds is the gap between him and his teammates, so he will keep P2 unless a major cock-up from Leandro. Blue flags are out as Leandro is just behind Sub-Zero. But the Alpines really trying to gamble with the slick tyres. The rain is still slowly falling. He's getting so much on his teammate, but he's getting held up by Sub-Zero there. I don't know what Vika they were thinking of, just parking up in the middle of the track during blue flag conditions. Maybe something to look at if you are Andrew, losing a little bit more time on his teammate. You'd see how rapid Chinkito was last season, winning a race. I believe it was the Prix race by so long. Andrew sends a move up on Chinkito, moves up into P5. Good move there for him, or maybe a little bit of a team orders or something. You never know. Sub-Zero in the background spinning just behind both Alpines. It's not been his day today. You can see Blitz coming across the line now. Sub-Zero is still spinning out and will be lapped by his teammate as we start lap 22, the final lap of this Belgian Grand Prix. Rangers in leading the way pretty much every lap, slapped it on pole on debut. He's going to send it around the middle part of Sector 2 and go for a lovely win, unless a major cock-up and the Commentators curse falls into play. No one really in a gap, or in the mood, I should say, for attacking it. Yeah, this looks to be the finishing positions from everyone. As we quickly see Sabino coming to start his final lap. But coming up to Blanchimont now, it's been a brilliant race from start to finish. And this man on screen has definitely dominated in ways we've seen from Quoto. But today, it's the Red Bulls being dominated by the new boy in Aston Martin. Ranger is going to come across and win this Belgian Grand Prix on his debut. A brilliant race from him. 14 seconds or so in front of second place Leandro, who does have a 3-second time penalty to boot. He finishes 19 seconds behind the Aston Martin, coming across the line now. Quoto makes it a Red Bull double podium to start off their World Constructors defense. As Jagnu now flying over the line for McLaren on the hard tyres, makes it a P4 move done for him. Sub-Zero, another 3-second time penalty for him. Andrew parks it up on the line. Chinkio finishes P6. Blitz now coming over the line, slaps it for P7 as a 10-second time penalty is there to judge. Flying over now. He's actually going to jump Blitz from that 3-second time penalty into P7. Blitz moving down to P8. We can see Sabino, who didn't make those soft tyres work, pitting really late into the race. He's all the way down P9. Sub-Zero crossing the line for P10 as you watch the Williams fly around on track coming up out of Blanchimont. You see, can he make his third spin into the bus stop chicane? He makes it nice and tidy there as he's going to come across the line, the last car to do so, finishing P9 in quite a disappointing day for Williams. But all the headlines are going to be in Aston Martin with Randro winning on his debut. And definitely some competition this season in Tier 2. As you see, that Aston Martin driver, Randro, sitting up top of the podium places with both Red Bulls side by side. You do wonder, is this going to be the podium for many more races to come? Will Randro pick up even more podiums today? Or more podiums this season. Not today, there's only one race. I am a little bit spared. You do see Adrian Newey, though, in his new Aston Martin suit. Bit awkward with both Red Bulls next to him, but Randro will take home the win today. And Leandro and Quoto showing why they are still there to fight. There are your finishing positions. And that will be the end of this Belgian Grand Prix. I am GoldenSniper, Tosi joining us for a bit of a late rejoin. And it's going to be a lovely race. Was it Tosi tomorrow commentating, I believe, Tier 1? Is that correct, or was it Andrew? It is Toasty, my boy, commentating Tier 1. Well, he'll see you tomorrow, and I bid you farewell. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.